Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spower Podcast. Today's the Wednesday podcast and/or Ohio State podcast where I just grade Ohio State's performance against whoever they played. And last week they played against Iowa at home, and they won 34-7. So I'm just gonna go into depth of each position group. If you've watched this by now, then you already know. And I just give a grading to each thing that helps Ohio State win games, and then I give an overall grade and just my overall opinion on it. So let's get right into it. The offense, I'm going to give a B-. Howard went 21 for 25 with 209 yards. He had 4 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown, so 5 touchdowns total. He did have an interception as well. There was a total of 203 rushing yards. Judkins had 78, Henderson had 61, and Howard had 28. Jerimiah Smith had a pretty good game. One-handed catch. I'm sure you've seen it by now. If you're watching this video, you probably are an Ohio State fan or have at least heard of it. He had 4 catches for 89 yards, and Igbuka had 9 catches for 71 yards and 3 touchdowns. And it's worth mentioning that Jerimiah Smith also fumbled. So, you got a few turnovers in there, which you really do not want to see, especially in week 6, I believe it is, of college football, so that's not a good sign. Howard, I think he had a really good day overall. I mean, he was running the ball pretty well. He only had 4 incompletions, 200 yards, 5 touchdowns. I mean, you can't really complain there. But the main thing that stuck out to me was that they really just came out to a slow start. It was only 7-0 at halftime, if you didn't watch the game. And, that you just don't, you can't come out to a slow start. And I'm sure most of you guys are looking forward to this week against Oregon. So, you can't come out to a slow start against Oregon, against a high caliber team like Oregon. So, that's just not good. Yes, they did pick it up in the second half pretty well, but you got to come out fast. So that's why they get a B-. And plus the turnovers, can't really have that. I'm going to give the defense an A, however. They only allowed 110 passing yards and 115 rushing yards. Caleb Johnson had 86 of those, but he didn't really have that many until the very late in the game when we had our backups in, kind of. There's one rushing. He also had one rushing touchdown. And McNamara threw a pick, and there's 2 fumbles. So, defense played great again. That defensive line pretty much shut down Caleb Johnson. He had 40 yards up until that one of the last drives, fourth quarter pretty much. So, I mean, you can't be mad. Caleb Johnson, before coming into this game, I knew he would be a deciding factor for Iowa. If he could get going, then it could be bad. But Ohio State really just contained him. That's pretty much what that game came down to, is that Ohio State just shut down Iowa's offense. Cade McNamara, not terrible, but I think he actually played a decent game more than the stats show. But, I mean, 110 passing yards kind of explains itself. So, yeah, defense played great. Defensive line looks good. The DBs, I mean, their tight end was probably their best receiver, which is kind of crazy. But it is Iowa, so are you really surprised? And I think the DBs played pretty well. Linebackers played great. So, yeah, I think defense gets an A. They played good all around, only giving up 7 points. The special teams, I'm going to give a B. Special teams, they're not going to get points taken away or added when they have no field goals and pretty much nothing from punt returns or anything like that. So, yeah, they get a B. They're not really going to hurt or affect the grade, or hurt or help the grade. And then coaching, I'm going to give an A-. I think the game plan was great, giving Howard some rushes. You love to see that. Letting Jerimiah Smith get open in space yet again. Love that. I don't think we really quite executed the game plan in the first half, however. I just think, like I said earlier, starting out fast, you got to start out fast. And the coaching probably could have helped us start out better. Also, I mean, just the offense in general, turnovers, you can't really coach turnovers. I mean, you can, but you can't call plays and account for turnovers. So, coaching I still think was great. I mean, Chip Kelly probably one of the best offensive coordinators I've seen so far this year. He's living up to all the hype. And then Jim Knowles' defense contained Caleb Johnson. That's all he needed to do. He came into this week with one objective, and that was don't let Caleb Johnson run all over you. If you do that, if you prevent him from doing that, you win the game. And he did. So Jim Knowles did his job. So coaching was good. Not higher because of not starting out fast, but one thing that I think is also worth mentioning is that just not losing to a team that is sneakily good this year, when many others did, is impressive, honestly. The coaches held the team together. They stayed focused on Iowa and didn't look ahead because, that's pretty evident. If you remember a few years back when Ohio State lost to Iowa pretty badly. I mean, I think they were just looking ahead in the season, and you can't do that. And the coaches helped the players stay on track. They looked good, and coaching was great. So overall, I'm going to give them, I think an A- is fair. Like an A- B+ range. 35-7 is a great score. First half really wasn't great, to be honest. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They need to work on that in the future. Not just Oregon, but just every team, you can't start out slow. And if they can start not starting out slow, season is going to be great. Like even better than what it is right now. But overall, it was a great win at home against a really good Iowa team. Shut down Caleb Johnson. Jerimiah Smith had a one-handed grab touchdown. Emeka Egbuka played great, which you'd love to see. Overall, it was a great game. I'm going to give them an A-. So that's my grading of Ohio State. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you agree with me, or if you just like the podcast in general. And leave your thoughts down in the comment section, and I'll try to reply to as many of them as I can. So thank you for watching. It means a lot, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye.